Okay. Back from right where we left off. So first of all, pat yourself on the back for beating Margaret, which is the knife on Madhouse. Okay, definitely not an easy thing to do. Hardest part of the entire run. Feel free to go through that gate right there and make a save. Unless you're going for world record, just make the save. Okay, it's just not a big deal. Okay, we're going to be skipping around a bit because there's a lot of just holding W that we don't care about, I don't think. I'll definitely check into the moments that matter, but we'll be skipping around. Okay. This video is going to go up until the TV, so we're just going to be doing some little things. There's definitely a few points of interest to talk about, and I'll stop there when we get there. So yeah, so see you at the door before, the lantern door. So now that we're at the lantern, you should already have your cursor over the lantern. The menuing you do at the end of the Margaret 2 fight, there's a lot of stuff you can do, but the one thing you definitely have to do is have your cursor over the lantern by the end so that you can just mash F on this. Now I'm going to be mashing F on this door. I'm still mashing F, still mashing F. Boom. You saw how long that door took to open? That means you can get a lot of menuing in. Okay, do whatever menuing you need to do, and again, the next important thing is your cursor is where the snake key will be. Okay, the standard pickups will go D series arm, and then snake key, so just 1, 2, the second slot. But there's variations with safe strats, such as if you're going to pick up the lockpick coming up, which means it'll be lockpick, D series arm, snake key, right? But for now, we'll just hover over the second slot. We're going to be discussing the lockpick coming up right here. Okay. So the lockpick in question is right here. Now, the question is, do you really want to pick it up? To do the safe, this is all about the safe strat where you get 3 max heals. Okay, to do that safe strat, you require a lockpick. Now, if you're willing to do it, there's 2 different lockpicks you can pick up. This one, or the one right next to where you move the bed in that little side room. In that room, there's also a backpack. Okay, and for that reason, I say that if you don't safety save before Margaret 1, you skip this. Okay. Because if you are safety saving before Margaret 1, you're grabbing that backpack, which means once you grab this, you already have a backpack and a lockpick, which means you have any required space necessary to carry all the extra stuff. Okay, but upon taking out that safety strat, I suggest you skip this and instead grab the lockpick and the backpack in the room on the way to the red key card. Okay, that's up to you to figure out.
Stay away.
Okay, so now coming up. People like to switch FPS to 30 here, but I think I've never really noticed a difference for the most part. Maybe it saves half a second. It's up to you. I just don't bother. Just too lazy.
Oh, God. I guess this is it.
And now coming up, there's 2 more that we have to get by. The first one we very reliably get by without getting sucker punched, but it can happen. So we switch to 30 here. And we just squeeze right by him. Like that. And now, there's going to be one molded right at the end. My stream has named Dylan. Okay? Because Dylan almost always sucker punches to the point where I always preemptively block. Okay? Let's see what happens this time. He didn't do it this time. Okay, so it was really weird for maybe, like, not even exaggerating, 20 runs in a row or so. He would sucker punch me when I run by him every single time. But it seems like he's turned over a new leaf or something because he just doesn't do it anymore, and I don't know why. I really don't know why he doesn't sucker punch anymore, because he did it so reliably to the point where I just started preemptively blocking. And I would then block the sucker punch every time, and it was just nice. But that's up to you. That's up to you to decide if you want to block there or not. Okay, because I'm so used to getting sucker punched there that I just block. But if you've never been sucker punched there, you might want to not block. It's up to you. Coming up, this is one of the oldest tricks in the book. To trigger the Lucas sequence, we need to be inside the RV and have the phone ring. But if you touch this corner, the game will think you're inside the RV. You hear that phone ring, and the phone will ring, and if the phone rings, the Lucas sequence gets triggered. Okay. Now feel free to make a save right here, if you want. Up to you. And we'll meet you at the liquor. Okay, So we're at right before the liquor. I know I said we are going to be at the liquor because there's a little tidbit I needed to say. This store always opens slowly no matter what. Okay, so once you start opening it, you have to wait for like a second. And so this is a perfect chance to check your inventory while the door's opening and see that your cursor's in the right spot, okay? Check. And I lost no time. That door always opens slowly. And now the liquor. So here's what I like to do. At first, I was always just kind of doing it randomly, and I would sometimes get stuck. This is a strat used in every run category, so there's probably a 100% consistent way to do it already, but my consistent way is when I round this corner, I make sure that I'm very close to this wall. So I'm rounding the corner, and I strafe over. Okay, so that I am creating a diagonal line from here to the door, and I run along that line. Okay? Oh. Wow. I'll see you in a bit. Okay. So like I was saying, keep that diagonal path from there to the door while switching to 30 when he busts out. And I consistently do it every time. Like, when I was just YOLOing it before, I was not getting it every time. So there is some degree of method to it for it to work. And I also like to point out that you've noticed I'm 400 health down. That is because Dylan sucker punched me this time. Just thought I should point that out. Okay, now let's do it in real time. Like that. And now I stay on 30 FPS for this entire sequence. Okay? I feel like it makes it so there's like a few points where I will get caught for half a second, and that can lead to me getting sucker punched. Okay? Whereas if I don't do it, if I don't have it on 30, I will get hit sometimes, whereas on 30, I pretty much never get hit. Okay? I genuinely feel like it helps to be on 30 for this entire sequence. And now the liquor. We just heard him hit, which means if you hear him hit, you do this. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna probably show extra variations of that. Okay? So don't worry about that. I'll explain it after I do all of this. Okay, now these guys, I almost never get hit if I'm on 30 for this part. And I run like this, and just like that. I very rarely get hit on 30. Like, so extremely rare, it's insane. And this is where I switch back to variable. Now, something to note, we want to stay on snake key, right? But after we use the snake key for the second time, we want to be on the blue key card, which is going to end up right here. Okay? Just giving a heads up. Oops. Just got teleported backwards. Okay, now this, even I have trouble with this, so knock yourself out. Oh gosh. Look away. Yeah, even I have trouble with that, so knock yourself out. I just kind of wing it. Okay. And actually I should probably bring up, there's like this new trick that's going around where you like crouch or aim your weapon as you pick something up to pick it up faster. I haven't really looked into any of that myself because I haven't been doing runs since that thing was found and being used. But I'm just going to point out that you kind of have to stop moving to be able to pick up this blue key card. And so you don't want to be holding forward and then mashing F. You want to be holding forward and then stop, mash F. Okay? And I think that crouch tech works there, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, moving on to the other door. We're going to use the snake key. Oh, actually, for safety struts, by the way, this can sometimes spawn an herb. It's RNG. Just thought I should point that out. Oh, and I totally forgot to talk about the separating agent. You'd normally be picking it up before you go in. Okay, you'd be on the way to this blue key card. You'd be picking it up. Okay, and how it works is you have to know your inventory. So if you're going for the strat where you get 3 extra max heals, you're going to have some extra stuff. Okay, now, if you have the backpack from Marg 1, then this won't be a problem. But if you don't, there's a decent chance you're going to be overstocked. Okay, because remember, if you don't have the backpack, you will have already one of the first separating agent from the Marg 2 fight. Okay? So in this particular case, I will actually be fine, because it'll be separating agent. Assuming I already have the separating agent, it would be, let's just say it was like right here, right? So separating agent, and then I pick up the other separating agent, right? Oh, and if I picked it up on the way to the blue keycard, I'd pick it up, these two spots would be taken, and then the blue keycard would be here, right? And then, once I get to here, I'll already have the backpack, and then I'll be fine again. Okay? So here, we switch to the blue keycard, and then we grab the backpack. And then, once you have the backpack, you can grab the lockpick, okay? That's why it's important to know your inventory. Imagine if I had a max heal on me. That'd be an extra inventory slot, which means picking up that separating agent would mean I would not be able to pick up the blue key card, right? It's very important to have your inventory in mind, okay? And only pick up that separating agent if it means you won't be if you won't be full up, okay? You have to be able to fit it by the time you get to the backpack, okay? Then once you grab the backpack, you can be more lenient. Right? So that's how that's going to go. So this would normally be here for me. Use the snake key, blue key card. But yeah, that's that safety strat. Lockpick in here, backpack in here, go crazy. Oh, and I don't think I've ever gotten a heal from this, so knock yourself out. Okay, moving on. And next thing to point out is that you don't want to fast fall here. It can be very tempting to fast fall. Fast fall. Okay, if you fast fall, you will land on this step. Oh no! Okay, well, I'll just explain it. If you fast fall there, you will always land on this step and then have to take another fall. Whereas if you slow fall, but make it so you're you're extending out as far as possible, you will fall straight to here, skipping this step. So it's actually faster to slow fall as long as you skip this step, because a fast fall will always not skip this step. Okay? These are like 1 to 2 second time saves we're talking about here, so it's not the end of the world either way. So now we'll have the red key card. Notice how my inventory is set up. I'll have blue and then red, right? So they'll be right next to each other, which would be ideal. Now I'm gonna heal now because the molded is my sound glitched? Let's see. Yeah, I think I have an audio glitch. Okay, there's a molded right here. And he sometimes sucker punches. Okay, it's because I stopped moving. That was all weird. I think my audio is currently glitched, but I'm not going to worry about it. I might get a soft lock here, and if I do, that'll be good for you guys to see. So it's whatever. So I always switch to 60 here, because running out of this door is what causes the barn area to load. Okay, it's the same logic as switching to 60 when leaving the RV. If you feel like your FPS is high and you get soft locks, and I think I currently have a soft lock about to happen, but we'll find out. It's always healthy, and it's only happened because I was sitting around. I've never had a soft lock happen the way it has this time, so don't worry about it. But if you are afraid of soft locks, switch to 60 now before you leave the store, because leaving the store is what loads the barn, and if you have high FPS when loading the barn, soft locks can happen. Okay? However, whatever I did running back and forth the way I was running to explain stuff, that might have caused a different soft lock to happen, but don't worry about it. This has never happened to me. Okay, it's probably from running around explaining stuff, okay? So now we're going to deal with the liquors, and the first instance of a soft lock potentially happening is at the keycard gate, okay? Where you put in the keycard and nothing happens. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so these liquors, they're really not that scary. Okay, you run in a straight line, the goal is to get to that RV door. Okay. I'm going to show multiple iterations of these liquors as well. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, we did not soft lock. Okay, good enough. That's where soft lock can happen, so it's whatever. Okay, so that concludes just showing you the route itself to get to the TV, but I will show multiple iterations of the liquor after you get the snake key and those two liquors out there, just to show you how to get around them. Okay, so we'll see you there. Okay. So, now we're at the liquor. So this is the first liquor after the snake key, and there's two main patterns you can do, and then there's variants off of that. But there's one pattern where you don't hear him swing, and there's one pattern where you do hear him swing. Okay? If you don't hear him swing, then you want to be strafing left as he comes around the corner. He will always jump for the most part, but you do once in a while. He will rarely actually run at you and swing, which means you have to block. But for the most part, he's going to jump, and if you strafe left properly, and then strafe right while running forward, while turning your camera to the left, he will jump right by you. Okay? It's like a fancy kind of tech you have to do to dodge these guys. You're going to see me do it multiple times here. Okay? So that's iteration 1, and iteration 2 you actually saw. Okay? That's what happened. He swung as I was running to this door, which meant I knew he was on iteration 2. And what you do is you just run towards that corner that he comes around, okay? And from there, two different things can happen. If he sharply turns towards you, that means he's about to just swipe at you and you have to block. Or he just fully runs by you and then will eventually jump, but by that point you're already through the door, and so he's gone. Okay, so let's see what we get this time. Okay, we got the swing, which means you run at this. And like that. Okay, he did the jump, but we were way by him, so it didn't matter. Okay? Now, I want to get more iterations, so we'll be back. Okay, next iteration, let's see what he does. He swung again. I really want to get a version where he doesn't swing, but I'll give up if he takes too long. Okay, let's see if we can get the swing. The non-swing pattern, I mean. Okay, let's see what we get this time. If it's the swing again... No swing? Okay, here we go. Strafe this, then do that. Okay? Strafe left, and then start strafing right while running forward, while turning your camera to the left, and he will jump by you just like that. Okay? Okay. So we switched to 60 FPS to avoid soft locks, and let's just show some iterations running by these guys. Okay, dodged and dodged. Okay, I did my strafing strat, and they despawn. Okay, let's just show one or two more. Okay, next attempt. Okay. That was not nice of him. He made it seem like he was going to do a normal swipe, but then he transferred it into a jump, but whatever. Next attempt. That's pretty rare. Usually when they run that close to you, they do a swipe, but once in a while they still do a jump. Okay. So the main thing to realize is if they're doing a swipe or a jump, and then if they're doing a jump, you have to master that strafing technique that avoids them. Okay, I feel like I probably could have explained what I'm even doing there better. Like, I'm just kind of running, I see him there, about to jump, so I'm running, and I'm making it so, like, he goes by me. Just try to copy what I'm doing, but I feel like it's a little tough to explain. But I hope that's good. Oh gosh. Yeah. You want to go straight to the key cards. You don't want to actually stand around out here. Yeah. And so yeah, that's going to be it. That's the path to the TV. Next video is going to be covering path to the barn fight, and the barn fight, and I'm also going to throw in the path to Jack 3. Because the barn fight really isn't long at all. It's tricky, there's a lot of moving parts, but is it long? No, it's actually quite short. So we'll do it. See you there. Bye-bye.
What am I gonna do with a fucking pocket knife?
Well, that's special.